What is up, YouTube? Or Storm here, coming at you guys with another discussion topic today. This is something that's kind of been weighing on my mind for a while now, which is, does Konami, we're talking about card erratas today, and does Konami have a misguided view on how they view these banned cards? Do they look at these banned cards in the context of when they came out, not what they would do in the current format? Now, I'm going to be saving kind of periodic the video to make sure that the end doesn't time me out. So basically, this is kind of after the Sangan errata. The errata is not up here, but Sangan's new errata, basically, I'll have it linked down below in the description box, basically says it's the same. You can add a monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck to your hand. Catch is, you cannot, it's only once per turn, and you cannot activate monsters, effects of monsters with that same name. I just don't understand why this card, Sangan was one of those cards I think pretty much everyone was saying, Sangan can come back, it's not going to really do anything. It's cards that get sent from the field to the graveyard just aren't really that good when we have cards like Scarm that I would honestly, I think even though they search in end phase, cards like Scarm, cards like Panaki, the Waxing Moon, honestly, I'm not saying Sangan is bad, I'm just saying, typically when you summon Sangan, unless you're playing it in a synchro deck, you're going to probably have to wait to get its effect off. And that's honestly the problem. It's like, yeah, you can grab it off of Tour Guide, but Tour Guide is also firmly placed at 1 on the Forbidden list. So I just feel like Sangan, kind of got a bit of a raw deal. And I'm going to talk about a couple of other cards that Konami viewed back in the day rather than, and I think the perfect example of this is Sinister Serpent. A lot of people had said Sinister Serpent should have come back for a good long time because it is like quote unquote free discard fodder. You can constantly add every standby base, but at the same time, the only deck that can really make usage of this is Mermails. And Mermails, you'd rather play Dragoons. Dragoons is at 2. You'd want to play Dragoons, not this card. And I feel like Sinister Serpent is one of those cards Konami viewed it within their, and then they basically just neutered it because, and the same thing applies to a card like Dark Magician of Chaos. When Dark Magician of Chaos, the format before it got banned, it was used to recycle a lot of key spell cards like Dimensional Fusion, cards like Monster Reborn, Constant like Heavy Storm, that are all firmly placed on the Forbidden list. Nowadays, if you look at Yu-Gi-Oh! And DMOC, what cards would you use to recycle with DMOC? Well, there's Wavering Eyes, there's Wavering Eyes, there's Yugioh Soul Charge, and then I'm at a loss when I come from there. Especially when and the thing about DMOC is I don't really see what the problem is with adding one spell card with DMOC when it's summoned, when a card like Enlightenment Paladin that is pretty easy to summon with and get its effect off in a Magician deck is unfair, but we can't have one generic card that searches spells when it's summoned. So in summary, this is basically the point of this video. Now, obviously, are there some cards where Konami had to errata them to even make them legal? Chaos Emperor Dragon is like a perfect example of a card that really needed to be errata to even think about coming off the list. Because Chaos Emperor Dragon is one of the most powerful cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's one of the first reasons why the ban list was even created, why we even had banned cards. And then the other thing is Konami sometimes does get it right with some of their erratas. A great example is Ring of Destruction. Ring of Destruction's original text allowed you to activate it during both players' turns, and it led to ties. Konami despises anything that leads to ties. That's why cards like Self-Destruct Button are banned. Konami despises conditions that set up ties. So I feel like Ring was one of the few times where they got it right. They got the card errata right. This time. So this is just kind of like a thing I've been noticing for a while, is that rather than Konami seems to be viewing older cards in the context of the format they came in, rather than judging them based on what they do today. So anyway, guys, as always, thank you guys for watching the video today. I really appreciate it when you guys watch my videos. Tune in on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Content. If you like what you saw from this video, please subscribe. Or Storm, signing out.